Good afternoon and welcome to Hill Stadium and Time Warner's Cable of Maine's Game of the Week on the Maine Cable Network. Hello everybody, I'm Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper as we get set for homecoming. Thornton Academy hosts Massabesic this afternoon. The Trojans coming in 3-1. Massabesic, the premier team in Western A at 4-0. And Jeff, just a huge game for Thornton this afternoon, and they have to do some things very well if they're going to compete with this Massabesic team.
Well, obviously, Jay, Massabesic highly touted. They've paid their dues around this league. This is their year. They feel it. They're going to come here and play some hard football. Trojans better play some defense and not have any penalties, or better not cough the football up, Jay.
Massabesic very big up along the front line, and they have a quarterback that is one of the best, Jason Otash. He goes both ways. He's a big, rugged kid. He can throw the football, and Thornton has to do some special things to slow him down.
Jay, I haven't seen the Otash kid this year, but boy, I can remember 2 years ago as a sophomore, he ran all over these Trojans right here. Some of these Trojans were there. They were part of it. I think they should be very well motivated to see if they can stop him today.
Meanwhile, Thornton Academy offensively having their best output last week versus Marshwood, racking up 40 points. And you know things are starting to happen. Foley threw the ball very well, a couple of touchdown tosses, and they had a lot of touchdowns called back in that one as well.
Yeah, I believe they had 4 called back. They just ran all over those Marshwood Hawks last week. Hawks didn't even look like they showed up to play at their own field last week. And if the Trojans can keep that up, mix up the offense, they have a shot today.
Well, they'll need to use homecoming and the motivation. Perfect time to get Massabesic in the middle of the season. The best team comes to town on homecoming. A beautiful afternoon here at Hill Stadium. We'll take a break, come back with our starting lineups and opening kickoff right after this. Welcome back to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper, Jeff Harper, Mark Cantor with you this afternoon for Homecoming 2000. Thornton Academy Golden Trojans hosting the Massabesic Mustangs. A beautiful fall afternoon, very festive mood here as the Trojans come into Hill Stadium, a 3-1 record on the 2000 season, and across the field waiting for them the highly touted Massabesic Mustangs. Head coach John Moran, a former assistant here for a long time, moved up to Massabesic. It's about 4 years ago, isn't it, Jeff?
I believe so. He took over that post for Greg Stilfrin and has a great crop of kids that have come right up through. They were young 2 years ago when they came down here. And they are a very veteran ball club at this point.
And they're led by their senior quarterback, Jason Otash. And he had a great game last year up at Ronco Field. Banged up, didn't play at the QB slot, but played linebacker and played some running back. And just had an outstanding game. And he is such a tough kid. And Thornton Academy knows they're going to have to slow him down if they're going to stay in this game with Massabesic. The Trojans coming off a big win last week over Marshwood, 40-7. Foley throwing for a couple of touchdown passes, one to Jeremy Lowell, one to TJ Metcalf. Metcalf also ran one from 73 yards out late in that game, and Metcalf really had a solid game, and that was great for that young man to boost his confidence and get him back where he needs to be for Thornton Academy heading into the stretch drive now. Week 5, homecoming week, and the switch of schedule, very important for Thornton Academy, I think, in a lot of ways, because they got Massabesic week 5 instead of week 7 so many years. They play Massabesic and just have a war with them. They win, but they come out very banged up and go into the Biddeford game not healthy, not 100%, and it would affect them in that Biddeford game. Now they got them in the middle of the season, and a good chance for them to take this game and then move into the latter part a little healthier and more rested.
Competitive league, Jay, and it's the power keeps shifting. Sanford had a couple of runs, and now they appear to be one of those middle-of-the-pack type teams. Biddeford got thrashed by this Massabesic club, so they're not on the premier team that they thought. South Portland, perennial, right there, played a very, very solid game against Massabesic, but did succumb to the Mustangs.
Squad captains for Thornton Academy, Frank Bailey, still in street clothes, expected back in 2 weeks in the Deering game. And that'll be big for Thornton Academy's offensive line. Chris St. Pierre the other, along with Dan Foley and Pat Davis. Massabesic will receive, and Thornton Academy will start on defense. We'll run down the Massabesic starting offensive line right now. For the Mustangs, the center is Steve Bridges. Bridges 6'2", 225. The guards this afternoon, Tim Tibbetts. He's 6'2", 250, a senior. And number 65, Nick Campbell. Campbell 5'10", 220 pounds, also a senior, a very veteran ball club. The tackles, Chris Letourneau, 6'3", 300 pounds. He's a senior. And on the other side, it's Tom Burgoyne, 6'1", 250-pound senior. And the tight end For Massabesic is number 86, Tom Thornton, 6'2", 215, a senior. The wideout, Derek Eggleton. He's 6'2", 160, a junior. And in the backfield, it's number 10, Jason Otash, the quarterback, 6 feet, 185, a senior. And the backfield behind him, the fullback is number 32, Joe Olszewski. And behind him and to the side, number 15, Matt Woodward, 6 feet, 170, a senior. And also in the backfield, number 12, Mike Bennett. Bennett, 5'10", 165, and a junior. One of the only 2 juniors on the starting offensive line, offensive unit for Massabesic. Eggleton and Bennett, the 2 juniors, the rest all seniors. And for Thornton Academy this afternoon, as we said, they come in 3-1, and their defensive starters this afternoon, we'll run them down for you. Starting at the defensive tackles, it'll be number 83, Ben Godbout, 5'7", 190, a junior. On the left side, number 75, Bill Dow, 6'3", 215, a senior. The defensive ends, on the strong side, it's Ryan Lagan. He's played very well for Thornton this year. He's 6'2", 225, and a senior. And on the weak side, it's Matt Crapo. Crapo, 5'10", 180, and a junior. The linebackers for Thornton Academy this afternoon, Ed Pellerin having an outstanding game last week versus Marshwood. Pellerin wears number 32. He's 5'10", 165, and a junior. And on the other side is number 21, Morrill Harper. Harper, 5'8", 150, and a junior. The middle linebackers for the Trojans, Stephen Skarks. He's really their leader. The big kid in the middle, only a junior, 6'2", 215. And then Pat Davis, one of the quad captains, 5'8", 185, and a senior. He wears number 28. In the secondary for the Golden Trojans, at the left corner, Jeff Robinson. Robinson, 6 feet, 160, and a senior. On the other side, Dan Foley. Goes both ways this year. Foley starts at the right corner, and then the free safety, number 35, Tyler McKinney. McKinney, 5'10", 190, and a junior. So it's 3-1 Thornton Academy hosting 4-0 Massabesic. Homecoming 2000. Take this opportunity to run down our sponsors here for the game of the week on the Time Warner Cable of Maine Cable Network. York Hospital, serving York County, and new location in Wells. Brady Screen Print and Embroidery in Biddeford. They have a whole line of clothing. TJ's Pizza in Biddeford and at the Biddeford Games, always supporting youth sports. Litchfield's Route 1 and Wells, the best steaks and piano entertainment. Union Bluff Hotel and Restaurant and Pub on York Beach. We'll pause now for our national anthem.
TJ's Pizza, homemade goodness in every bite. You love our pizza and french fries too, made fresh while you wait, and there's more for you. Bring your family, bring your friends to TJ's Pizza, where the fun never ends. TJ's Pizza, homemade goodness in every bite.
Welcome back. Thornton Academy, Massabesic, just about set for our opening kickoff, and getting back to our sponsors on the Maine Cable Network's Game of the Week. Mike's Clam Shack, Route 1 and Wells, serving seafood and now traditional home cooking. Eldridge Lumber and Hardware, serving you with all your home improvement needs. Adams TV and Appliance. Don't throw out your broken appliances, let Adams fix it for you. Lighthouse Depot, whole line of gifts. Lighthouse Digest, the world's largest lighthouse depot. The Main Diner, where home cooking is served diner style, the best. Biddeford Saco Savings, they're there to help you with your financing of today. G-Nap Agency, sell by, or maybe your friends need to rent. And the Lobster Bar and Restaurant, eat where the locals eat year-round. And remember, these broadcasts would not be possible without these sponsors. And mention that you saw them on our Game of the Week on Time Warner Cable Network. And Thornton Academy set to kick off. Massabesic electing to take the ball and get things going. Jeff Robinson, the senior, number 41, will kick off into a fairly stiff breeze this afternoon. A low lining kick, a pretty good one, fielded at the 8-yard line. Up to the 25, Woodward breaks out and feels a big hit on the outside. Right over the 25-yard line. Lowell in on the stop. And he's also joined on the tackle by number not a 43. I believe that's Ryan Lagan wearing 43 this afternoon. So Lagan and Lowell on the tackle. Massabesic comes out, double slot formation. Otash under center. They'll fake, pitch it to the wide side. They're looking to throw it. Eggleton down there, beautifully thrown ball. Oh my! Eggleton showing great speed, and that ball was laid out there beautifully by Bennett.
Coach Morin right away wants to go up top, and he was right. He had sex right there. That kid couldn't bring it down, but he did have the steps. Beating the Trojan defender.
Foley outstepped 2 steps on the sideline. And boy, that ball was thrown very, very well on first down. Second down, Otash on the option play. Gets about 3, but then quickly the defense, Skarks, along with Pelletier, combined for the stop.
They got to whack him every time, Jay. When you have an option quarterback, you just got to put a man on the quarterback, and whether he pitches the ball or not, you whack him every play.
It's what you're taught, and definitely the person that's responsibility is the quarterback has to hit him every single time. Sometimes even if he's pitched the ball, you got to just go ahead and take your shot, make him really feel it. The option play broken down. Now he's going to throw the ball, man, wide open, but he overthrows Woodward on the outside. So Thornton Academy with a good defensive effort. Massabesic wasting a couple of great chances, 2 passes, and the first one in and out of the hands, that one overthrown from Otash. And
no huddle offense by Massabesic. They just keep coming right out, and that play right there, they put the pressure on. That's the best pass defense you can, is pressure the quarterback, and he had a lot of green out there, just overthrew him.
4th down and 8 now, and Massabesic punting, good snap, no pressure. High, beautiful spiraling kick. Foley thinks about coming up and then gets out of the way, takes a bounce to the side, and gets a little bit of a favorable roll for Massabesic. It's downed out there at the 39-yard line, where Thornton will start. 1st down and 10, no score. Opening quarter between Thornton Academy and Massabesic. So the Golden Trojans come out offensively. They're led by their senior quarterback, Dan Foley. Justin Roy, the fullback, and the slot backs are Metcalf, and it looks like Cormier starting. Quick pass on the outside, and the ball goes in and out of the hands.
Nice ball. Foley got right out, zipped it over there. The man is open. Looked like a pickup of about 5 or 6, but couldn't quite come down with it.
Brian Skaczynski, the intended receiver. So Thornton and Massabesic come out throwing on their opening series. First play. Thornton now with a 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 39. Foley fakes, comes up the hole, dives forward. He'll have about 4. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
I like that quarterback draw, Jay. Foley does a nice job with that, and he did just get tripped up. He had a little more room up there.
3rd down and 6 now. Trojans send Metcalf and Robinson both to the near side. 1 slot back on the left. Roy, the lone back, in the backfield. Now Cormier in motion. Give his to Justin Roy. He'll have the 1st down. And takes a big hit out there from Otash. And also on that wide side, some extra help in there on the tackle is Olszewski. But
faked him out with they put the twins out to the left, sent the motion to the right, and then the quick hit up the middle with the fullback. Roy does a nice bit of running.
Good blocking up front by the right side, left side of the offensive line. 1st down and 10, the ball at Massabesic's 49-yard line. Massabesic jumps offside, and that'll cost them 5.
One of those cadence penalties. Getting a little anxious in there. And the defensive coordinator on the other side probably wants to wrap somebody on the head in there. You're right in front of the ball. You got to move on the ball.
Left side of that Thornton offensive line on that last play, it's Puppy the center, Skarks and Pelletier blowing up a big hole. First down and 5, Cormier in motion. Give this to Justin Roy. He's got a hole up the middle again. Roy another 6 yards and should have another Thornton Academy first down.
He's a quick starter. We saw him a few weeks ago against Bonnie Eagle. That first drive, he came out and just chewed up the real estate.
Thornton Academy coming out and getting exactly what they want. A quick stop, no football, and they're moving the chains. 2 consecutive first downs, 1st and 10 at the Massabesic 38-yard line. Double slots once again. They'll go to Roy again. Bounces outside. Justin Roy breaks the tackle, cuts inside. They'll have 11 and another Thornton Academy first down.
Well, sometimes you can make a good block just by getting in the way. And that was the case out there for number 80, Max Janelle. He just kind of got in the way.
Roy made a nice move around him and broke that 1 tackle. Allowed him another 5 yards on the play. Gain of 11, it's 1st and 10. Thornton Academy at the 26 of Massabesic. Massabesic, their first test last week with a 14-12 win over South Portland. That game going right to the wire. But they have been just manhandling, crushing everybody. 2 receivers out here, only 1 defender. And oh my. There's a hit right there. Chaz Cormier getting absolutely belted and knocked backwards.
If Thornton sees what we see, they tried to cover the twins out here with 1 man. Send 1 deep, keep 1 short. That guy's got to make a decision. We've got a mismatch out there.
Yeah, Thornton had 2 receivers to the near side of the field, only 1 defender covering the 2. But that time, Olszewski and Noble combining on the tackle. And they really leveled Chaz Cormier. Big hit. You could hear it from all the way up here. And now it's 2nd down and 13 for Thornton Academy. Stephen Skarks off and now receiving some medical attention.
Little blood, that's all. Gonna take that blood and cover it up.
Knuckles.
Welcome to the new world where the blood cannot be trusted out there.
2nd and 13. Cormier comes in motion. They go the other way. Foley keeps it, pitches last minute, legal pitch. And once again, Cormier gets hit very hard, but he gets about 8 yards, or about 4 for him and 3 for Foley on the play, and a good last-second decision by the quarterback Foley to get it out to Cormier.
Just had him by the ankle, and so yeah, he pitched it. Sometimes that can be ill-advised. If the defense is hustling a little bit, that could be dangerous.
Now you're in 4-down territory, 3rd down and 5, so just got to avoid a loss here and keep yourself in a 4th down and makeable situation. Big 3rd down play early. Foley to throw. Setting up, has time, fires it down the field. Going out there, the receiver's there, and just off the fingertips. Ball intended for Jeff Robinson. Well thrown ball.
Oh, very nicely thrown ball, right where you want it. It's out there, it can't be picked off. If it is picked off, you know, that's a miraculous play, and it's a touchback. Beautiful, beautiful throw. And these Massabesic Mustangs play very hard corners. They're right up on the Trojan offense. They figure that they can run with them all over the field, not giving them much room.
7:86 remaining in the first quarter. Thornton Academy now with a 4th down and 5. They got to get to the 15-yard line. Double slots, Foley rolling out. Has the broom, now decides to run. Closes quickly, dives for the first down. He could be very close.
I think he got it, Jay.
What a great effort.
And I've got to wonder why they didn't consider maybe a field goal here. This could be that kind of a football game today. We've got the toe.
Yeah, we saw St. Hours last week versus Marshwood kick a, what was it, a 37-yard extra point?
Well, the actual extra point was from the 18, so it was a 38-yarder, but he had leg enough for at least 45.
Little Dan St. Hours got a big leg and a big heart, and he's certainly a tough, hard-nosed competitor that's contributed throughout his high school career for the Golden Trojans. First down and 10, great effort by Foley. Looked like he was going to be stopped. Fought forward, dove, and again, that strength pays off the work in the offseason. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Give to Roy, big hole up the middle. Justin Roy down to near the 5. He'll be just shy of the first down. And the Trojans, left side of that offensive line is really creating some nice holes and some good reads by quarterback Foley. And the exact start that Thornton Academy looking for, they're getting this afternoon. This drive started at their own 38-yard line.
Roy has 33 yards rushing already on this drive.
Roy's had a couple of solid weeks back-to-back and had the big first game versus Noble. He rushed for over 130 yards. Rushed for over 100 against Fawn Eagle a couple weeks ago. So a good situation here. This is where you don't want to have the first down. You want second and short, a couple of plays to get a first down and put yourself in a first and goal from the 3 or 4 rather than have it out here. So Trojans come with the powerhouse backfield, and then they move up one backer. They go to Roy. Roy in the middle. He'll have the first down. Fights down to about the 3.
Interesting formation, Jay. They split out the tackle and the tight end and made a gap, and then moved up your extra halfback into the slot, and then came straight ahead with Roy.
Well, we've checked around the league, and you keep looking at scores and common opponents and what one does versus the other. It's been a peculiar couple of weeks here when you think you've got it figured out, you're not so sure. But this Thornton Academy team definitely showing that they're up in that middle of the pack and maybe the top of that middle of the pack, and maybe they got something else to say. Roy off the left side, he's just shy of the goal line. The last second, Rob Noble came in to throw a hit and knock him back just before he was about to push over Eggleton for the touchdown. It'll be second and less than a yard now. Thornton Academy trying to break on top, and again, homecoming used to mean so much when the games were played across the street because you could really bring the fans into it and the emotion. And over the years since the shift over to Hill Stadium, Thornton hasn't had the big opponent for homecoming, and they haven't been able to really. Today, this is a perfect opponent and the perfect time. Second and goal. Again, that formation. Justin Roy, left side, touchdown. Thornton Academy leads 6-0 with 5:20 to play in the first quarter. And Roy, the workhorse in that long drive.
Excellent patience by the Trojan offense. They just kept coming. This is the difference. The Trojans are big enough to match up front against this Massabesic Mustang team.
Dan Tainar's in for the extra point try, and that left side of the line, give a lot of credit to Trapper, Pelletier, Huppy, and Skarks. Good strong running from Roy. Tainar's kick is up and good. York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 7, Massabesic 0. You're watching the Time Warner Cable Domains Game of the Week. A 62-yard drive, 11 plays, and just an outstanding opening drive for Thornton Academy. The defense comes out, does the job, avoids a couple of big plays that could have gone for a lot, but they use the momentum and shut down Massabesic in 3 plays, get the ball back, and just outstanding execution and a couple of huge plays. One from Dan Foley on that 4th down and 5, where he fought and just got the first down on great second effort. And then some great blocking up front by those guys and good decisions. And
Justin Roy matched his number on the drive, picking up 36 yards, full pay dirt.
Robinson will kick off again. Pretty much this is the only game in Southern Maine this afternoon, especially in Western. 2 games Thursday night, the rest of them last night. Good kick down to the 2, coming out to the right side, breaking 1 tackle, but no, hauled down there at about the 22-yard line. St. Ours on the tackle for the Golden Trojans on the special team.
That deep kick is harder to cover. The kick went so deep, and it was nice play out there.
Olszewski, the returner, on the play, and Massabesic will start at their own 22. They trail 7-0. Double slots. Olszewski, the lone back in the backfield. Motion this way for Otash keeps it. He's got some room. Busts up the middle. And the Trojans cover up late. Robinson and Harper are combining on the stop, but Otash gets 11 yards and a first down. Boy, he came around that corner and just no one there. And an easy decision for Otash.
And I don't understand that, Jay. I think on an offense like the Mustangs have, you have to have somebody that is his sole assignment to deliver the lick to number 10.
Once again, they spread it out. Receiver on each side of the field, double slots. Otash will keep again. Breaks outside. Lagan giving chase. Help from Foley. And Otash will get about 5. And Ryan Lagan wearing number 43 this afternoon. A change from his normal number of 73.
He's got to get rid of that defender, too. I don't know if the defender had a piece of his shirt or what, but can't stay locked up when Otash is coming around the corner.
Second down and a long 5. Woodward goes in motion. McGill is up the middle. Olszewski, Lagan jumps on and hauls him down after a short gain. Bring up third down now at 4 yards. All at Massabesic's 41-yard line. A big play here early on for these two teams. Massabesic coming in unbeaten. Big win over one of their recent rivals, the South Portland Red Riots, last week in South Portland. Before that, Massabesic had just manhandled everybody, crushing any opponent along the way. Tash will keep it. He's in trouble. He gets racked up in the backfield. No gain on the play. Lowell in on the stop. Skarks and Huppy. And it's fourth down now and 4, and most likely a punting situation once again.
2 straight times they forced the Mustangs to kick. Defense is doing its job.
Tom Thornton in for the punting duty. No pressure, a high short kick. Wind knocks it down, takes a bad bounce, and Thornton will start pretty much what they did last time, a yard further up the field at the 39-yard line. They lead 7-0, and
Massabesic only gained about 20 yards on that exchange.
Trojans defense gave up the 1 first down and then again stiffened and held, and this potent offense is so far being hushed by the Trojan defense. Thornton Academy will send Janelle and Robinson to the near side of the field. St. Ars and Metcalf in the slots. Justin Roy up the middle, big hole again. Roy into the secondary. Down to the 35, hauled down by Woodward from behind at the 31. And Roy is holding a knee right now, a little shaken up on the play. Crowd grows very quiet right now as Roy is down and in some pain. And that would not be good news for this Trojan team.
Hard to explain. The tackle was just jumping on his back and taking him down. Must have just came down right on it, on his knee.
2:45 to play in the first quarter. Our York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 7, Massabesic 0. You're watching the Time Warner Cable Maine Game of the Week.
I work hard for my money, so I am very careful about the bank I do business with.
Saco and Biddeford Savings Institution is Maine's oldest mutual savings bank, so I feel comfortable that my money is safe and growing. They help me
Go to college, buy a house, start a business, and raise a family. Saco and Biddeford Savings
feels as strongly about this community as I do. And as the years go by, they'll be right there with me.
SBSI, more bang for your buck.
The athlete gets hurt, and being very gingerly with it, helping him off the field. Justin Roy already with 67 yards rushing in this ball game.
Still being helped off. It's first down and 10 at Massabesic 32 after that long jaunt by Justin Roy. And the fullback, Tyler McKinney. The junior comes in and pops into the secondary and lowers his shoulder. And Tyler McKinney's a big, tough kid, and he was an outstanding fullback for the freshman team that went unbeaten a couple years back. And, you know, he's certainly been waiting for his opportunity. You don't want to lose a player of Justin Roy's caliber, but
Hey, like my old line coach used to say in freshman football, any rat can find a hole. No, this Trojan front line is doing it. They're doing it. They're moving the Mustangs right out of there.
first down and 10. McKinney will go again. Breaks the tackle. Tyler McKinney. He'll get about 5. So you don't ever want to see your captain and leader on the offense go down, but when you got a kid that can come in and step up, and McKinney, you could see the exhilaration on his first carry. He was ready for the call, and he was just licking his chops, waiting to get in and lower the shoulder. 2 rushes, 15 yards for McKinney. It's second down and 5. The Trojans at Massabesic 16-yard line, already up 7. Foley will keep. Decides to bounce it outside. He's got some room. A flag comes in late. And it's going to be a block in the back, and a block that didn't need to occur. And a tough break for the Trojans. I believe Max Janelle got a push in the back, and again, it was 6 or 7 yards away. And
Trapper Pelletier blocked 2 men on that play. He just popped them right out of there. Nice job by the Trojan tackle. A lot of room on the corner, and this could be a setback for this drive.
you don't ever want to have any penalties, and especially down in the red zone. Thornton has really struggled inside the red zone this year. Last week they got over that with some big plays from outside the red zone and a couple of good plays inside the zone. They really were clicking on all cylinders, but they did have the penalty bug, and right there, a big game taken away by Foley on the holding call. But it was downfield, so after it's marked off, it only sets up a second down and 8. So not insurmountable by any stretch. Foley steps back to pass, looks out, fires up the field, adjusting to the ball and trying to make a catch on it. Good defense out there by Woodward, and the ball falls incomplete. Stop the clock with 1:33 to play in the opening quarter.
I like that matchup they're getting out there. It's a one-on-one thing. Foley's throwing the ball well. Just need that big play.
A little underthrown on that one. Third down and 8 now, and as we've talked about, Thornton in the 4-down territory, but certainly have the field goal kicking leg in Dan St. Ours. Trojans with 2 wideouts to the far side. Now motion this way. Option play. Foley breaks the tackle. Foley to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Dan Foley. No flags on the play, and the Trojans up 13-0. 18-yard option run by Dan Foley on 3rd down and 8, and the Trojans have now put together 62 and 61-yard drives and lead 13-0.
That's the beauty of the option, Jay. You can put him to sleep with the fullback getting the ball all the time. Then you pull it away, and Foley had some green out there, and he is quick.
Thornton Academy, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns. St. Ours in for the extra point try. Good snap, good hold. A booming kick hits the post and comes back. Did not get the break off the left upright, but Thornton Academy, just a perfect first quarter so far. York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy Golden Trojans 13, the Massabesic Mustangs 0. You're watching the main cable network's game of the week. Just exciting right there, and Foley had the nice run to the outside, regained like 12 yards and was knocked out of bounds, taken back on the holding call. He goes back, calls his own number again, and busts it from 18 yards out.
Just the perfect read, and all they're doing is they're getting on his ankles, and they're not getting much on his body at all. And that time he busted free, smelled the end zone, and just got there. No one was going to deny that one.
So homecoming 2000, so far so good for Thornton Academy, but we know what Massabesic has on the other sideline. And head coach Kevin Kiesel of Thornton Academy in his first year certainly knows the capabilities of John Morin and his staff. And this game's far from over, but you couldn't ask for a better start for this Trojan team, who's trying to get themselves in the postseason for the first time in 3 years. Robinson will kick it for the third time today. High end-over-end kick, fielded at the 12. Woodward comes up, looking for a seam, runs into the back of some of his own players, and bodies flying everywhere. Cormier, Harper, and Pellerin in on the stop for Thornton Academy. Massabesic will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. We talked about Massabesic's big offensive line, and so far the quickness and stunting of Thornton has caused them some problems. The Mustangs go 225, 250, 250, 220, 300, and 215 across their offensive front. 1st and 10, straight off, Olszewski up the middle. Davis makes the initial hit, gets help from Lagan. Olszewski will pick up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Well, the way they kept the Barn Eagle Scots in check a couple of weeks ago really showed that they do have the size and the ability up front, because the mature Scots annihilated Edward Little last night with their maturity and senior line that they used against the young Eddies.
2nd and 5. Again, Olszewski, but a flag comes in and stops the play, and he had a big hole. He was 7 yards deep before Tyler McKinney was able to put the body on him, and a good break there for the Trojans. This is a huge drive for both teams, and you know that after you score, the biggest thing you want to do is shut down your opponent. If you can hold them and not allow them any points in this drive, you're in a great position. And Massabesic, on the other hand, if they can march down the field and score, they're right back in it. The momentum shifts back to them, and it's a one-touchdown game again. So it's just like in baseball. When your team scores a couple of runs, it's up to the pitcher to come out and shut them down and really make those runs count. 2nd and 11 on the offside. Tash to throw, fires out the flat, has his man. Eggleton working in the secondary. He'll have nearly 20 yards and a 1st down out to midfield. Throw by O'Tash, finding Eggleton in the seam, and then some good little moves downfield by the junior. Derek Eggleton, 6'2", 160. We said only...
I believe that is the first forward pass completed on the afternoon, Jay.
1st and 10, the ball at the 48 now. Massabesic with their 2nd 1st down of the day, and very close to Trojan territory for the first time. You got another flag before the snap of the ball, and have an alignment problem, and more than likely it'll go against Massabesic. Somebody moving down there while they're set. After setting, you have to stay set.
Quarter will end on the snap of this play here, or maybe even before the snap.
They start the clock, and that'll do it. A great first quarter of football for Thornton Academy. Homecoming 2000. Just a beautiful start for them. York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton 13, Massabesic nothing. We're back with our 2nd quarter in a moment.
Welcome to Litchfield's, where they offer casual dining for every taste. For lunch, enjoy a hearty sandwich or their delicious chicken Caesar salad. Relax in the Manhattan Oyster Bar, where you can enjoy a cocktail, an order of jumbo shrimp, or their delicious smoked Maine salmon. Their menu includes the freshest seafood, blackened swordfish, and baked stuffed lobster. You must try Litchfield's Black Angus prime rib and aged hand-cut New York sirloin. It's what makes Litchfield the best.
Welcome back to Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper, Jeff Harper, and producer, videographer Mark Cantor. Homecoming 2000 for Thornton Academy, and again, moving Massabesic to the 5th game of the season. I think a very good strategical move. You get the best team coming to your home field on your homecoming, and that's your best opportunity to knock off a team of Massabesic's caliber. Just one of the outstanding teams in Western A this year, along with the Portland Bulldogs. And right now, Thornton Academy, they played some brilliant football at times this year, but have not put a whole game together. They put the whole first quarter together. Can the Trojans continue will now be the big question.
Well, Jay, the Trojans had their way in the first quarter, totally dominating, but they've really got to worry about the aerial attack of Massabesic. The Mustangs have thrown the ball, only one completion, but several other completions had a chance for a huge yardage.
Massabesic penalized for the offside. They're looking at a 1st and 15 now. The ball back at their own 43-yard line. Double slot. Wide out to each side of the field. Weird snap there. Ooh. And as Bennett came through, he was about to meet Stephen Skarks, and the whistle stopped that big hit from occurring. And fortunate for Bennett there, he was about to really get pounded by Skarks, who likes to throw his body around. Another offside penalty. So you wouldn't expect to see this from the senior-laden team, and a team coached by John Moore, and a very good disciplinarian and an outstanding line coach for Thornton Academy for years, and his offensive line now struggling in the trenches.
Well, evidently they're a little out of sorts here, being down 13-0, and got them jumpy.
Option play. Otash breaks outside. He's got a hole. Looks like a hold out there. No flag. And Otash to the 10. He's gone.
Stephen Skarks got knocked down from behind. I can't believe they didn't call anything on that corner. Usually a big play like that, they're looking for some kind of breakdown.
There was another hold on the outside, too. Looked like 2 plays you could have called a hold there. The officials let it go, and Otash says, see you later, bye. You give him a seam, and the kid's got the wheels and all the ability. So just like that, Massabesic into the end zone and up on the board. It's 13-6. Woodward on for the extra point try now. Good snap. Low line and kick, no good. So our York Hospital scoreboard. Opening moments of the second quarter. First play, and Jason Otash goes 62 yards and gives Massabesic the momentum shift back and puts them within 7. York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 13, Massabesic 6. You're watching the Time Warner Cable and Main's Game of the Week on the main cable network, and just what we said, you really got to hold serve after you've done a good job to break and score, and Thornton Academy did not do so. They allowed a big play, a couple of very questionable no calls out there, but nonetheless, Massabesic taking advantage. And
well, he's the kid you don't want to beat you. You know that the kid has explosive abilities out of the option play. Trojans were running the option play as well, so looks like this game's going to be around for a while, Jay.
So now the Trojans will have to answer back after the momentum shift, and let's see what their offense has to say. So far, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns, a 11-play, 62-yard drive to start things off, and then a 9-play, 61-yard drive on their second. A high end-over-end kick, fielded at the 8-yard line. St. R's coming up in a sea of green out there. He breaks 1 tackle, but that's it. Beautiful kick, high kick that hung up there, and St. R's came up and just saw nothing but white and green, and he's knocked down at the 16-yard line where the Trojans will take over. First down and 10. Again, plenty of time if you're Massabesic, and you know that the coaching staff on the other side of the field is telling their team exactly that. Down 13-0, you know that there's still a full quarter remaining in the first half, let alone a whole second half yet to come. But Thornton now has to keep the composure and try to put together sustained movement, at least hold on to the ball for a while and not let Massabesic get the ball back with good field position. Foley, good pitch outside. Cormier with some running room. Cormier comes outside, a good low tackle taken down by Eggleton, and Cormier looked like he was going to have room for 10 to 15, only gets 6. Actually 5 where they'll spot up just down at the 21-yard line. They'll be 2nd and 5.
Beautiful tackle by Eggleton. That's just what you want to see. Came right up, made the stop.
Cormier not that big. He's only 5'7", 165, and trying to use his evasiveness and get around it. 2 receivers, 1 defender out to the wide side again, and McKinney jumps offside. My goodness. You got Kaczynski and Robinson out there, and you would think they'd be sending flares up, trying to say, hey.
I would audibilize that. I'd send one down the field 20 yards and the other one stay right there. See what that kid wants to do. Quarterback steps back and see which way he moves.
2nd down and 11 now after the penalty marked off.
Automatic.
replacing Justin Roy, who's down having ice applied to his knee, and we'll check hopefully at halftime and get a report on Roy and his status for the second half and games in the future. Second and a little more than 10. They'll throw. Quick out. Caught out there. Janelle makes a nice move. Trying to get up the sideline. Janelle will have enough for the first down. Taken down at the 28-yard line. And there's the play. Massabesic gambling and not sending two defenders out there. This time they shifted one over a little bit, but then he started sliding back in to try to give help in the middle. And Foley with a quick pass, and Janelle the one nice move, and you see he's got wheels. Whenever he touches the ball, Thornton crowd gets excited.
Complete a few of those, and you'll get a little respect out there. And that is Foley's first completion on the day.
Had a good day passing last week. Came up as a passing quarterback. Looked like movement there. No call. McKenney breaks the tackle. Gets into the secondary and has a good gain on first down. Like Thornton got away with a little movement on the snap there. Looked like someone just jumped prior to the snap. No flags come in. Thornton now with a second down and 6. A look at some of the homecoming crowd here this afternoon at Hill Stadium. Just a beautiful fall afternoon, the last day of September. And a great crowd on hand for this 3-1, 4-0 matchup between the Trojans and the Mustangs. Foley fires out. Got Janelle again. Janelle comes in. It up. The ball came out. And it looks like Massabesic may have it. They do. The big hit coming from behind. Looks like Otash laid a hit on Janelle. And a big turnover. We haven't had any so far. And that one right there after a nice 12-yard gain negates that play. And Thornton's defense back out on the field. And Massabesic with all the momentum right back.
Unfortunate. He had a lot of room out there. And all you got to do is wrap up the football when contact comes up. Janelle,
a young player, not used to that. He didn't cover up. He should have felt the pressure coming and really held on to the ball, because when he was making the first move, 2 other players were coming from behind. Otash on the option. Cuts inside. He's brought down after a short gain. Janelle, 6'2" sophomore, and Thornton's defense now has to come back. Gave up the 62-yard run to Otash on Massabesic's last possession. 9:05 to play in the second quarter. Thornton leading 13-6. Motion this side. They give to the fullback, and Olszewski will only get a couple. It'll be 3rd down and a long 5 now, and Massabesic right near that 4-down territory. The Trojans can hold them for no gain or throw them for loss. You would think it would be a punting situation, but if Massabesic gets 1 or 2 forward, more than likely they'll go for it on 4th down. Big play here.
Otash has 82 yards rushing so far today. He is their offense. Also 35 yards in the air.
He'll look to throw this time. Has the time. Fires out. Man open. Right in the seam. The Trojans defense doesn't respond. Rob Noble with a catch. A gain of 13 yards. First down to the 29 of Thornton Academy. No pressure at all. Otash had all day to sit back in the pocket, wait for Noble to come open in the seam. You see the arm strength of Otash.
A bullet.
1st and 10. Eggleton goes to the far side. Foley picks him up. We're on the near side. It's Sellers. Robinson coverage. Otash will keep. No one to pitch to. Skarks says hello. Skarks rips down Otash. A loss of 1 on the play.
Gotta love it when you see your big middle linebacker with an angle on the quarterback. No chance for him on that one.
You'd have to think
Otash was history.
You'd have to think someone missed an assignment there in the backfield for Massabesic, because Otash looked back for a pitchman and there was no one there.
And nobody bit on the fullback. The fullback hasn't been any part of this offense really for Massabesic.
2nd and a long 11 now. Left side handoff and not much there. Lagan in on a stop along with Bill Dow. They'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now. Olszewski getting the call on 2nd down. Thornton Academy looking for a defensive stop and trying to grab some momentum. The Mustangs trying to put themselves right back in this game. They were down 13-0 and Otash with 62 yards.
Need a blitz here, Jay. We got to get to the quarterback. That's the only way you're going to stop that passing attack.
Noble in motion. Otash to throw. Has time. Fires out in the flat. And the receiver fell down, and it looked like McKinney maybe had a chance to pick that off, and it's squirted right by him. I don't think he saw the ball coming. And they'll bring up 4th down now and 10. Ball at the 30 of Thornton Academy, so more than likely you got to go for it here. The wind at the back of Massabesic if they have a field goal kicker in there.
Well, that extra point wasn't too impressive, but I don't know.
He might have just missed that one, but now that would be an awful long one. But the wind is stiff and right at the back of Massabesic. But 4th and 10, they'll go for it. They'll send Bennett and Eggleton to the near side. Motion this way, loading up this side. Otash with pressure coming now. Fires out, picked off. Tyler McKinney got some blocking. McKinney cuts inside, gets it out to the 48-yard line, and the Trojans steal the momentum back as McKinney gets the INT.
And you can say that Skarks had a hand in that as he delivered a lick on the quarterback just as he's releasing it.
And Thornton comes up with a big 4th down stop, and not only did they stop them, but the interception and fine return by Tyler McKinney gives Thornton Academy great field position out at the 48-yard line. They lead 13-6. Robinson splits to the near side of the field. Kaczynski goes to the far. Foley to throw. Got time. Fires out in the flat, and good coverage. Looking for Davis. Noble right there on his backside, and the ball goes incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Kaczynski should go back to the huddle and say, you know, I had a step on my man. There was some room deep.
Yeah, it looked like Foley there had time enough to wait for him to get open. He could have waited just a little longer, and that ball was definitely an opportunity downfield. But the wind is stiff in the Trojans' face right now. That could have been a factor. Foley keeps, and this time he's going to be thrown for a loss. Tom Thornton in on the stop, along with Noble, and also Joe Crow. And it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 12 now for the Trojans. Thornton doesn't want to turn it back over now. You want to go for your 1st down, but you want to be careful. Where they are on the field now, they can punt it away and not give Massabesic great field position on their attempts to try to knot things up. Oh, big hit, but Foley breaks into the secondary. Dan Foley dives, he'll have a 1st down. Whoa, Pat Davis took a hit, got right back up and tried to get in the play to make a block downfield. Give him credit. And Foley once again weaving through the secondary, and that strength at the end of the tackle. He's able to push for an extra yard or two, and each time that's paying off.
I'm amazed when we look at this angle and we see Foley take that run up through there, and it doesn't look like he has much room, but somehow he scoots right through.
1st down and 10 at Massabesic's 40-yard line. Double slots, Pat Davis in at fullback now for the injured Justin Roy. Foley again, the pitch out. Cormier trying to dodge, cuts inside, breaks a couple of tackles, but too much pursuit by that strong Mustang defense. Good athletes over there as well. Eggleton along with, I believe it's big number 44.
Labby, yeah. They hit well out there. That junior Eggleton does a fine job on the corner.
He is tough.
That is the 3rd or 4th time he's come up and delivered a good blow.
Loss of 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12. Clock moves, 4:25 remaining in the 1st half. York Hospital scoreboard, Thornton Academy 13, Massabesic 6. Trojans took the quick 13-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, but Massabesic on the first play of the second quarter. Jason Otash, good hole there for Pat Davis. Davis into the secondary. A flag comes in late, and we'll have to check that. That's in that face mask area. And I believe it will be. So the Trojans now putting together a nice little drive of their own. Dan Foley able to get that first down on the 3rd and long play, and now the offense has momentum. They'll mark that off, just a 5-yard penalty. But Thornton has a first down and 10 at Massabesic's 27-yard line now.
Crucial drive right now.
Robinson comes to the near side. Janelle will split to the far. The slots are Cormier and Metcalf. Foley will keep. Oh, bounces outside and nothing doing there. Good coverage and staying right with him on that outside is Olszewski.
Perhaps going to the well a little too often with the pull-out QB sweep there.
Second down now and 13. The ball back to the 30-yard line. Trojans got to get down to the 17 of the Mustangs for a first down. Metcalf and Robinson come to the near side. Foley to throw. Goes for Metcalf. Metcalf looking for a block. He's not going to get it. Olszewski out there, and Metcalf hauled, tied, and thrown back for a loss of about 3 more on the play. That's a good play when you got sole coverage on 2 players out there, but with the 2 defenders right up in the face of the wideouts, a tough play to execute.
When both receivers are staying there, one guy you would think would want to clear and try to get your block from somebody coming from the backfield or something to pick up that block. But clear out and take somebody out of there.
Pulling guard or a man in motion in the backfield coming out to provide some help. That play goes the wrong way, a loss of almost 5 yards. 3rd down and a lot for the Trojans. Janelle Robinson to the far side. Trojans try the quick sneaker, a fumble in there. They say Davis fumbled, and the Mustangs come up with the football. Labby on the recovery. They hit and just stole the ball, it looked like. And Massabesic gets their 2nd turnover, and a big one there as the Trojans waste a great opportunity. 2:28 now to play in the half, and Massabesic takes over at their own 36. They trail by 7. Just a weird play there. Davis, they tried to pop him through and surprise Massabesic on 3rd and long with the fullback quick hitter. Otash on the option. He's got room to the outside, and I don't know about that decision as he slips down. Harper and Skarks cover him up. Gain of 3 on the play. If he stayed on the outside, looked like he had a lot of room. They'll bring up 2nd down and 7. The clock moves, heads towards the 2-minute mark. Now a big drive for the Thornton defense. They can.
Nobody's used a timeout yet, Jay. So I would expect after this play, if Massabesic doesn't get the first down, that they would probably use a timeout.
Otash is to throw. Time again. Fires out. The ball tipped and almost caught out there, and ball's incomplete. Clock stops at 1:49, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Mustang offense.
Trojans seem to have figured out the passing defense here. They've been in great position the last 3 throws.
3rd down and 8. Big play for the Trojan defense. A hold here, they could still get the ball back and have one more opportunity. Massabesic wants to keep the sticks moving. Otash in traffic, setting up, fires out, got a man out there, caught. Woodward, nice move on the outside, gets 1 block to the 15, the 10, he's gone. Oh my. 1 great block downfield, and Woodward scampers in, and just a beautifully thrown football from Otash. just like that, Massabesic using the big plays this afternoon. Thornton Academy grinding it out and moving the ball well. Massabesic's getting shut down, but all of a sudden, boom, one play, and you see their explosive offense. And a beautiful pass from Otash. Woodward laid it out there, and then the beautiful move downfield.
He turned on the afterburners. No one was catching him, and here's the fake.
Woodward's covered out there. Now he's going to throw. He's got a man open. Incomplete. Wow. So Thornton Academy will hold on to the 1-point lead. York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton 13, Massabesic 12.
Whoever's on the scoreboard doesn't have it figured out very well.
Do we have some sort of flag on the play, or let's see what we got. The official coming over to explain it to John Moran on the other side of the field, and I guess the play will stand. Looked like for a moment they were going to call a penalty, but the Trojans hold on to a 1-point lead with a $1:37 left in the first half. And again, hard to believe how Woodward, after making that catch, was able to elude the Thornton Academy secondary. There's 4 maroon jerseys down there, but got one good block, made a nice move by one, and then, as you said, just put on the afterburners, and there was no catching. Matt Woodward, 5'9", 170-pound senior, and another huge play by Massabesic. That on 3rd down and 8.
A 60-yard pass play, Jay, that Otash with a 62-yard run and a 60-yard pass. He is the Massabesic offense.
And again, Mustangs using the big play to really sting the Trojans, and Thornton Academy's been playing some outstanding football other than those 2 big plays and a couple of turnovers. The Trojans right there, that was a very tough time to cough the ball up. On 3rd and long, you try to just pop your fullback through. Surprise them, get in a little bit better field position for 4th down to either go for it or punt and pin them in, and instead you cough it up, and Massabesic turns that into 6 points on the 60-yard pass play. Trojans with maybe enough time if they get something to happen, but they are going into a pretty stiff wind right now as Woodward gets set to kick off for Massabesic. Nice high kick again. Boy, he really puts the ball up in the air, and that'll be a touchback as Janelle tries to field it in the end zone, and Thornton will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. York Hospital scoreboard, Thornton Academy Golden Trojans 13, Massabesic Mustangs 12. You know, if anybody from the Thornton Academy side would say at the half, you're going to go into the locker room leading 13-12, they'd be ecstatic, and they wouldn't even maybe believe that that was possible. But after the start, the way Thornton Academy played in that first quarter, to go into the locker room only up 1 at this point is very disappointing for this Thornton Academy team.
Yeah, when you have a 13-0 lead and you cough the ball up a couple times and miss some opportunities through the air, this game could be much different.
1st and 10 for the Trojans. Handoff goes to McKinney. Stumbles for a gain of about 1. Let's see if either team wants to push the envelope here and try to get something going more than what we're at with the remaining time in the half. Massabesic doesn't use the timeout. I think after this play, if Massabesic's able to shut him down, then Coach Moore might use a timeout. Try to get the ball back one more time. Skaczynski goes to the far side. Robinson comes to the near. Movement on the side. Foley, though, takes it. A late flag. Oh, my. That flag was 7 seconds after the play. This is all going to come back. You just can't do that. You don't call the penalty right away. You can't wait. The guy's 7 yards down the field. You're calling an offside. Oh, my goodness.
The Trojans did move before the snap.
Without question they did. But, again, nobody called it. Foley 7 yards into the secondary, and then all of a sudden the official just quietly drops the flag. I don't know. Is it better late than never on that one? Isn't there a time factor involved in that?
Well, I don't know if there is an amount of time the ref has to get it out of his pocket. Yeah, I don't think he made up the call. He just he wasn't quick on it, that's all.
No doubt. It was movement. No one's arguing that, but it's just that there was no flags. Everyone was yelling, and the play, Foley breaks into the secondary, and he's 10 yards down the field, and all of a sudden, I watched the official decide to go in his pocket then and throw the flag.
Gets it over midfield too, and then you can throw once you get in that territory. But we're two plays away from halftime here.
Foley will keep again. Has some room on the outside. Puts his head down. Takes a hit up high. Bennett gets him up around the neck. Foley another good gain, and I believe Massabesic was used a timeout now, and they do. Stop the clock with 30 seconds left.
Major league hitting going on out there, Jay.
Certainly both teams taking some good pops at one another, and good tough athletes on both sides of the ball. 30.8 seconds remain in the half. Thornton Academy holding the 1-point advantage, and now they just want to run the first half clock out as best they can.
Definitely don't want to be forced into a punting situation, because they'll bring the house on this one.
Wind's shifting around a little bit now. It's almost blowing straight across the field more so than it is. But it is a strong breeze kicking up this afternoon at Hill Stadium in Saco. Jay Harper, Jeff Harper, along with producer Mark Cantor with you this afternoon for our Time Warner Cable of Maine's Game of the Week. And it's a good one so far. 4-0 Massabesic trailing 3-1 Thornton Academy 13-12. Trojans jumped out to a 13-0 lead to start the contest with consecutive long sustained drives, a 62-yard 11-play drive followed up by a 9-play 61-yard drive. Roy, the 1-yard touchdown run to start things off, and then it was Dan Foley from 18 yards out. Dan St. Hours 1 for 2 on extra point tries. His second one hit off the left upright and carried backwards. And then it's been the quick hitting offense of Massabesic. 62-yard run from Otash, followed by a 60-yard pass. So we've been in that 60 zone. And a nice tackle there. Steve Bridges hauls down Dan Foley, and quickly Massabesic uses a timeout. And yeah, definitely, Thornton will have to punt from deep inside their own territory. I believe their first punt of the afternoon, and they'll be punting into the breeze, and they'll be looking at a big rush now coming from Massabesic. So Trojan special team needs to come up big here and get the ball out of there, and certainly you don't want to allow the Mustangs any return or decent field position, because with the wind still, there's an opportunity. Woodward has kicked the ball off very nicely, and he had the extra point try miss badly. He topped that ball, but shows he's got some good leg power. So the Trojans now are in a tough situation. Again, that penalty that
this is scary.
Negated a
We've
huge
got
drive.
25 seconds. We're punting the ball, and they've got a timeout left on the clock. They've got a shot. They got a shot at another big play here in the punt itself. But I imagine they're coming.
Eggleton goes back.
I'd sell out and try to block this kick if I was the B6 right now.
Eggleton stands inside Thornton Academy territory. Lowell back at his own 5. Low snap. Pressure coming. A high short kick. Trojans have good coverage. Let's see the bounce. Down there by Pellerin.
I don't know why he caught that. Why not let it bounce around a little more and take some more ticks off the clock?
Yeah, that's the other thing. 2 or 3 maybe precious seconds, one less play, but also you don't know which way that ball would bounce on its second hit, but it was apparently heading a little bit towards the sideline and maybe an extra yard or 2. But now Massabesic, one quick play here, they get 10, 15 yards. They'll have an opportunity to look for a field goal or maybe the end zone. Bennett in motion, Otash to throw, pressure. Now Otash coming up the middle, he gets hit up high and thrown down. Lagan gets a piece along with
Jeremy Lowell was the primary tackler in there, getting a hold of the quarterback. They take their last timeout.
Loss of a yard on the play. They'll stop the clock with 9.4 seconds. Good coverage in the secondary that time by Thornton Academy. And that, what you would call a coverage sack. Massabesic not using up any timeouts and found themselves in a position to use them and use them effectively. Give themselves one last chance, and if the Mustangs can take the lead before the end of the half, again, momentum and the spirits of the home Trojan team would be demoralized at that juncture. Thornton's still got to be feeling a little bit shocked with the fact they're going in potentially at this point only up 1. 2nd down and 11. The ball at the 35-yard line. Massabesic, if they throw a quick pass and an incomplete, they'd have one more shot at it, but anything completed now, as long as Thornton doesn't allow him in the end zone, that would end the first half.
No indication whether Justin Roy is done for the day. He is standing on the sideline with crutches, and he has kept his shoe off, but appears to have both feet flat on the ground.
Otash brings him out. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Looks to throw. Everyone's scampering out. Otash thinking about throwing down the field, and a flag comes in late, and I believe we're going to have a penalty on Robinson on the coverage. Sellers was the man down the field, and it will be against Thornton. So Massabesic can get the yardage and think about a field goal here if they want.
I believe it was the linebacker McKinney who was in the area of the intended receiver who kind of stumbled.
It could have been, yeah, on the other receiver, not Robinson. It may have been McKinney. We'll have to check that. But the 15 yards marked off now with 2.8 seconds. Does Massabesic go for a field goal? Yes, they do. Oh my goodness. This could be absolutely demoralizing to this
check fake.
Trojan
check
team.
fake. I don't think you can give these guys every
I think here in this situation,
value.
You're going for a potential 39-yarder. I think they do go for it. They got the wind, and like you said, Woodward's shown he's got some good pop and kicking off. And
oh yeah, the kickoff is tremendous.
I was saying before today's game that if Thornton could hold them to 15 points or less, they'd have a great chance to win today. This field goal would give them 15 points, but that all coming in the first half. Thornton would have to pitch a shutout in the second half. Thornton Academy uses this timeout. We've had 4 timeouts here in the last minute. Massabesic lining up for what would be a 39-yard field goal. Otash is the holder. The athletic Matt Woodward, the kicker. They combined for a 60-yard touchdown pass for Massabesic's last score. They're trying to combine for a 39-yard field goal.
That was the Trojans who called another timeout, using it up. Apparently looking for some tendencies or just trying to ice the kid, make it a little more nervous. I don't understand that at this stage of the game. If it was the ball game on the line, maybe.
Maybe waiting for a wind shift. Coach Kiesel maybe checking the wind. Say, wait a minute. But it is, the flag has been shifting around, and you get a look at the trees across the way. I mean, they have definitely moving. There is a strong breeze, but the wind was at one point going from right to left on your screen.
Swirling winds.
Yeah, now it's more swirling, so. Massabesic really take advantage of their opportunities. They have been stymied for the most part, but 2 big plays, and now a penalty puts them in a position to go for a go-ahead field goal with 2.8 seconds left on the clock in the first half. I think the Trojans are really thinking they're going to fake it, but I wouldn't. I'd be coming. The kick is high and short. Got way under that one.
Yep, the hands were around his throat on that one. He just kind of, he missed it, got right under it.
So now Coach Kiesel doing a great thing. I like what he's doing, and the Thornton Academy assistant coach is out with Coach Kiesel taking that, to use that miss as a momentum, pump the team up, and make them really feel good about the fact that they lead rather than feel the other way, which we said they could easily do. You got to use that as a positive and pump them up and say, look, we're up 13-12 over a team that many thought we could even be on the same field with.
Yeah, Jay, and maybe they feel that, you know, they came out here with a great game plan. They came out strong, and now they've, you know, given up a couple of big scores from the other side of the field. If they can just have the stamina to stay with this Massabesic club, we're in for a great second half.
It's Homecoming 2000 on the Time Warner Kibble Main's Game of the Week. Our York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 13, Massabesic 12. We'll take a timeout, come back with our halftime stats here in just a moment.
Don't throw away a TV or VCR just because it doesn't work. Let Adams TV and Appliance Store fix it for you. And if it's not repairable, they have new TVs, VCRs, washer-dryers, refrigerators, and more. Just off Route 1 on 9B in Wells. The Brady family has been bringing Maine businesses, teams, and schools wholesale custom screen print and embroidery since 1980. Check out their factory outlet, carrying top-quality name brands, located on Route 1 in Biddeford.
Welcome back to the Maine Cable Network Game of the Week. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper as we get set for second half action here coming up in a moment. But first, running down our first half stats, 13-12 lead for Thornton Academy, and the Trojans really playing very well between it. It's Massabesic's big play striking ability that's kept them in it.
Jay, the Trojans started out with an excellent game plan, totally dominated the first quarter. Justin Roy rushing for eight carries for 67 yards. That really was the story. They were up 13-0, but in the second quarter, Massabesic had their big plays. Trojans had 9 first downs in the first half. Massabesic only had 3. But Jason Otash is the story for Massabesic. 10 carries for 83 yards, 3 for 7 in the air for 93 yards and a touchdown. Trojans rushing. The quarterback taking the football for 8 carries for 46 yards net. A few losses of yardage out there for Dan Foley. But number 16, Cormier, coming in for 4 carries and 9 yards net. And number 28, Pat Davis, picking up 10 yards on 2 carries for 132 yards for the Trojans. For Massabesic, Ozinski, number 32, 4 rushes, 10 yards, not a factor. The whole offense, as we said before, has been Jason Otash one way or the other, throwing to Woodward for that big scoring strike for 60 yards late in the second quarter. And the rest of the story is the fumbles. 2 fumbles by the Trojans, 1 interception that was thrown by Otash that the Trojans picked off. Penalties fairly even. Trojans picking up 4 penalties for 35 yards, and Massabesic 5 penalties for 25 yards.
So both teams penalized numerous times. Massabesic, though, all 5-yard variety. Thornton Academy gave up that big 15-yard one at the end of the half that almost cost them dearly, as Matt Woodward went for a 39-yard field goal attempt, came up short on that. Woodward so far on the day coming up short on his kicking attempts, but he's kicked off very well, and he's had that outstanding catch and then the moves after the catch for the 60-yard touchdown pass. And as you said, Otash, every bit as good as we touted him at the top of our broadcast. And once again, that outstanding ability to strike quickly by Massabesic. Thornton's defense has played very well, shutting them down, but then just giving up that one big play. And Thornton, as we said, a couple of big turnovers have cost them. And I think head coach Kevin Kiesel did the right thing at the end of the half after that missed field goal. He ran right out on the field and was pumping up his defense and trying to make them feel good about the fact that they were heading to the locker room 13-12 and staying positive and trying to even fool his own team and saying, yeah, we're very pleased at 13-12. Again, if you had said that before the game, you know they'd be happy, but the way they let Massabesic back into it, it's tough to keep the momentum on their side. But I've heard great things about Kevin Kiesel, and so far in this season, Trojans 3-1. He's doing a fabulous job with this Thornton Academy football team. And then on the other side, we know about John Moore, and a great coach who coached here for numerous years, the offensive line and defensive line coach, a great motivator, and he's brought that program from obscurity up into a predominant team, a team last year that people thought would make it to the Western Finals. They got bounced out just prior to that, and this year, along with the Portland Bulldogs, the premier team in Western A. But right now, they're down a point, and they are at Thornton Academy's homecoming, and they got to find something in the second half, a little more consistency, I think, on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, what's remarkable here today, that no matter what happens in the second half, Jay, the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans are going to get a lot of confidence out of this game. Massabesic, we'll see about their poise and maturity if they come out and take control here. Who is going to be the physically fit team in the second half? Right now, the Trojans appear to have lost that momentum severely, but it's only the big play that's hurt them.
And they'll start with the ball for the second half, so we'll see if the offense can respond. Justin Roy, after gaining 67 yards in the first half, basically in the first quarter, He goes down with an injury, and it looks like he's done for the day. Shoulder pads off. He's on crutches, and we didn't get a chance to see what the exact injury is. It doesn't really appear to be a knee. It seems to be in the calf or shin area, but he's not icing it, and he's not headed off to the hospital for x-rays, so that may be a good sign for future games. But right now, they're going to miss him for the second half. It's going to be Tyler McKinney and Pat Davis who will have to step up. I'd like to take this time to once again remind you that our sponsors of the Maine Cable Network's Game of the Week are very important to us and to you, and we'd like to thank them. York Hospital serving York County, and new location in Wells. Brady Screen Print in Embroidery in Biddeford. They have a whole line of clothing. TJ's Pizza in Biddeford, and at the Biddeford Games, always supporting youth sports. Litchfield's Restaurant, Route 1 in Wells, the best steaks and piano entertainment. Also Union Bluff Hotel and Restaurant and Pub, right on York Beach. Mike's Clam Shack, Route 1 in Wells, serving seafood and now traditional home cooking. Eldridge Lumber and Hardware, serving you with your home improvement needs. Adams TV and Appliance, don't throw out your broken appliances, let Adams fix it for you. Lighthouse Depot, they have a whole line of gifts. Lighthouse Digest and the world's largest Lighthouse Depot. The main diner where home cooking is served diner style, the best. Biddeford Saco Savings, they're there to help you with your financing for today. And the Gene Knapp Agency, sell by or maybe your friends need to rent something. And the Lobster Barn Restaurant, eat where the locals eat year round. And once again, Time Warner Cable of Maine is proud to bring you coverage of the high school sports here on the Maine Cable Network. And a couple of good ones. And you look around the league right now, you saw Portland winning big the other night on Thursday night over Cheverus. Again, pitching a shutout there, 21-0. South Portland once again finding it tough, but coming up with a big win over Deering. Deering showing that they're improving and playing well. And then
that was a shootout up there at Deering the other night, 35-28.
Yeah, it really was. They're matching each other, and you saw, again, those two teams, you don't really know who's going to step out of the pack. And then last night's game, a couple of surprises of sorts. Bonnie Eagle playing very well and just taking care of Edward Little very easy. And then you had Noble squeaking by Lewiston. And, tough to figure out who's going to come out of this middle of the pack. Thornton's trying to make a statement here this afternoon.
Well, on their way to that, if they can eliminate the turnovers, no costly penalties, and of course they got to put a pair of shoulders on Otash every time he touches the ball.
Woodward will kick off. Back deep is Max Janelle, number 80 in the middle. On the left is St. Hours, on the right, Metcalf. Second half action underway. High again, beautiful. End over end kick. Janelle fields it at the 15. Comes up the right side. Oh, looked like a seam for a second, but he's grabbed and thrown back. Gets it out to the 29-yard line, though. The Trojans will start with decent field position. First down and 10.
Unfortunately bumped into his own blocker out there as it was a seam, and we would have got a chance to see his full speed there if that hadn't happened.
First down and 10. Thornton Academy comes out for the second half. They'll send Metcalf and Robinson to the far side of the field. Cormier in slot right formation. Again, the guys up front for the offensive line for Thornton Academy done their job so far this afternoon, creating some nice holes for the offensive work of the Trojan unit. Davis gets the first call on first down. He gets 4. You can't underestimate the loss of Justin Roy. I mean, he was just pounding through the offensive line into the secondary of Massabesic and chewing up some big yardage. And the play that he got injured on ripped off a 20-something yard gain on the play.
I marked him down for 31 on that one, Jay. 67 yards in the first quarter.
Second down and 6 now. Foley to throw. Got time, firing out the field. Metcalf's out there, but Eggleton got a hand up just in time to get a piece.
He almost tipped it to Metcalf. The ball was thrown behind Metcalf, and Eggleton stuck his hand out there and almost slapped it up for a reception.
That'll bring up third down and 6 now. Big play early on in the second half, opening moments, but the Trojans trying to get momentum back on their side as the Mustangs stole it in that second quarter with 2 big hitters. Double slot formation. Hand off to the fullback. Davis trying to get, and he'll be close. He spun and would have, if he could have finished his spin, he might have had the first down, and a good tackle there, a late hit coming in for the Mustangs that I think prevented him from picking up the first down.
It was a nice hit and spin through there. He might want to stay a little bit lower going through.
Again, it's a game of inches, and every little bit counts. Fourth down now, and I believe it'll be about a half a yard. And opening moments of the...
I don't know how they can do this, but these refs do this. They move the football from where the guy was tackled and then bring out the chains to measure. How can you do that?
Yeah, it's a bit peculiar, no doubt. Again, it'll be just shy.
They'll have to kick.
Tough decision here for first-year coach Kevin Kiesel, and it's looks like decision time. And again, it looks like Lowell now coming out of the punting unit will come on the field.
The home crowd is...
I'm not sure, but wait a minute.
Yelling out that they want to see...
It's a big gamble deep in your own territory to start things, but if you're going to take out a team the caliber of Massabesic, you got to gamble occasionally. It looks like the Trojans are going to go for it. 4th and inches. 11:04 to play in the third quarter. Thornton Academy in their own territory. Once again, the split backfield. They bring the person up into the slot. Everybody up at the line of scrimmage. McKinney gets hit, knocked backwards. He fumbled it. Oh, my. So Thornton Academy, again, coughing up the football. It wouldn't have mattered either way, because if you don't get the first down, you give the ball to the other team anyway. But McKinney got hit as soon as he got the handoff and knocked backwards. The ball came out, and the Trojans' gamble does not pay off. And Massabesic now with the football inside Thornton territory, trailing 13-12. The only thing about that play, it's worked for you, but every time they put someone in the slot, they've gone right there. So Massabesic certainly was looking for that play, and they got it. First down and 10 for the Mustangs.
I don't know why the quarterback sneak can't get you that.
Otash thinking about pitching it, hauled down on the outside. Matt Crapo, number 33 on the stop for the Golden Trojans.
Did a nice job of wrapping up Otash, and you gotta wonder why the play wasn't finished off by Dan Foley. He had a clear shot.
Second down and 9 now, a gain of about a half a yard on the play, and it's now Thornton Academy's defense that has to try to answer. Massabesic has had some big plays so far. 2 of 60 yards and more. Inside handoff. Olszewski gets hit. Short game. It'll be 3rd and long. Davis
Every other
down
back
Skarks.
has been a non-factor for Massabesic in this game. He has not had a carry more than 4 yards, number 32.
So 3rd down and 8 now, and the ball at Thornton Academy's 37. Massabesic in that 4-down territory, so the Trojans, once again, will have to suck it up for 2 plays. This time, Otash will send Noble and Eggleton to the far side, and the back and slot left. So trips basically in. Otash, quarterback draw. Dow gets him. Dow throws him down after a short gain. It'll be 4th and about 4. So the Trojans answer on the first 3 downs, and now a big 4th down play for the Mustangs and their offense. Bennett shuffles in the play. Noble heads to the sideline. 4th and 5. Massabesic on their first possession of the second half.
Sellers cover Woodward.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Otash with time, fires out in the flat, man wide open. It's Eggleton again. Davis hauls him down from behind, but he has 14 yards and a first down. Pat Davis shaking up on the play now. He's down on the field. We'll have to see what his injury is, and not a good sign when 2 of your quad captains are both injured in this game. 8:47 to play, York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 13, Massabesic 12. We'll take a break. Back after this.
Having had children, I know how it feels to be a parent interacting with physicians. I'm Dr. Naomi Gothier, and I'm a pediatric cardiologist at York Hospital. York Hospital had the vision to bring pediatric cardiology to the Seacoast. We provide the highest quality diagnostic tests and equipment anywhere. I absolutely believe that being a mother helps me as a pediatric cardiologist, and I love what I do.
So the Mustangs, after the big first down pickup on the completion from Otash to Eggleton, have a 1st and 10 just outside the red zone of Thornton Academy. They trail by 1. Sweet play coming this way. Bennett trying to get wide. The Trojans out there. And once again, Stephen Skarks with a big hit takes Bennett down and throws him for a loss of nearly 4.
Pellerin made that play. Jay strung that right out and just would refuse to give the corner. The B6 have a very mature passing attack. It looks collegiate. It looks pro. They come, Otash drops back, steps up, and really throws a hard strike in there, and those receivers are taking nice deep routes, curls, outs. They're open all day.
And the only time that Otash struggles when he's had some pressure. Thornton's got to apply some pressure, or else he just sits back there and picks them apart. Option play, they pitch to the wide side. Noble tries to get outside. He'll have a gain of about 4 on the play. Pelletier, McKinney, and Harper combine on the stop. Gain of 4 back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10. Once again, Massabesic sends 3 wide out to the far side. Eggleton, Bennett, and Woodward all on that left side. Snap. Not much pressure. Now pressure. Firing out over the middle. Receiver there. Oh! Foley, last second, comes flying in and nearly picked it off at the goal line.
For the first time today, Otash, his pass kind of floated out there, and Foley almost made a huge interception.
Great play by Foley because he was covering another receiver off to the left. He saw the ball, left his man, and came in with support help and nearly made a spectacular interception. And now it's 4th down and 10. Wow. And again, you talk about the collegiate passing, and they look so smooth and professional when they do it. And exactly, once again, Otash dropping back. And that ball, he looked off to the left, came back to the right side of the field, away from all the receivers, and nearly completed it for 6. 4th down and 10. Otash running the reverse, cutting up inside Noble, and a nice tackle from behind. Trapper, Pelletier with the tackle, and the Trojans hold.
If he didn't make that tackle, that was 1st down yardage and more, perhaps. Nice play.
Trapper Pelletier has been playing very well on both sides of the ball in that offensive and defensive interior, and that, the big guy going quick and playing a little trap of his own there. A tackle from behind on Noble as the Mustangs ran the reverse, inside reverse on that play. Thornton Academy's defense holds, and turnover does not affect the score. 1st down and 10. Foley keeps it, bounces outside. Dan Foley around the corner. The 40, the 30. They're not gonna catch him. Dan Foley goes yard.
Nice 80-yard run. And I saw that referee looking at a block by Brian Kaczynski, and he looked at it and he reached for his little back pocket, but it was not a bad block. He was right in front of him, and that gave him the corner.
Dan Foley gives Thornton Academy their big play. And the Trojans now with a big extra point forthcoming. A 1 point can make it an 8-point game. If they went for 2, they could put it a 9-point 2-possession game. And Foley again, good blocks on the outside, cut it up inside and then back outside. And once he got that corner, you saw the explosiveness. A couple of Massabesic players made up ground, but not enough. Dan St. Ours, his aim is true. 7:23 left in the third quarter. Homecoming 2000 has turned into one whale of a football game.
It's a track meet.
York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 20, Massabesic 12. You're watching the main cable network's game of the week.
What an excellent run. Just every time you see this option play, yeah, they stay with it. You know, it can fail 5 times in a row and get stuffed. But the one time he makes the read and gets that corner, boy, can that kid fly. Dan Foley.
Talked about the improvement from last season to this season in his running game. He's always been very proficient throwing the football, and he's had some good runs, but just a remarkable improvement with the weight room training in the off season, and I think the strength has given him more confidence, and it just shows right there. I mean, an amazing cut, and then he has the speed. And a huge play as Foley answers Otash's performance, a booming kick into the end zone for a touchback. And Thornton Academy has the momentum back on their side now. They lead by 8, 20-12 with 7:23 to play in the third quarter.
Geez, you almost think that you should go for the onside kick here. Keep Massabesic in your own territory, because they can't score when they're in Thornton territory. They're scoring from their own side of the field.
Trojans up 8, and the Mustangs now have to counter. And they have shown the ability to counter quickly. 2 plays of 60-plus yards for their touchdown on the afternoon. Tash with a good cut inside, but there's the support. Harper came up from the linebacker slot, turned him inside, and once he turned inside, there it is, the support coming from the middle, and that's just what you want to do defensively.
Skarks playing a great game.
He is a tenacious defender. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Eggleton comes to the near side. Sellers splits to the far. Foley and Robinson have sole coverage on the corners. Tash looking to throw. Fires out in the flat. Got Woodward. Woodward gets pounded, but he'll have a first down. Woodward, a very fine receiver for the Mustangs, and he makes another catch, and the chains will move.
Yeah, they got to look to first man wraps, second man strips when you're on defense now. Now's the time to get that big play.
Over the years, broadcasting high school football for about 13, 14 years now, we've seen so many great quarterbacks, but this year with Quentin Porter and Jason Otash, they just seem to be a little bit better than the ones in the past years, and it's so much because of their poise. The way they drop back in the pocket, they feel the pressure, they're not worried about the pressure, they stand in and they can run. These kids are definitely superior athletes, and something we haven't seen in the state of Maine in a while.
They certainly are, and Dan Foley is really maturing into a fine quarterback himself. And when you go back to the last time the Trojans won the state championship, they had a kid by the name of Christian Summers who could run that option and score on you from anywhere on the field.
Yeah, Foley's getting overlooked because of the play of both Porter and Otash, but he's certainly developed. Otash gonna come up short. Fumble on the play. The Trojans come up with it. Bill Dow, 75, comes out of the pile with a football and didn't see it come out on the hit. Otash took a couple of hits as he was trying to get extra yardage, and all of a sudden, the Trojans got a big turnover deep inside Massabesic territory.
Crucial era for the Mustangs.
Their first turnover of the afternoon didn't affect them, as Thornton Academy could not capitalize after the McKinney interception. But this time now, leading by 8, the ball at Massabesic's 37. The Thornton offense goes back to work. Foley to throw. Looking downfield, out for Metcalf. Goes up, tips it. And good attempt there. It looked like a chance deep down the field that Otash would have had a chance at an interception had Metcalf not got a hand on it.
Excellent call. I love that call right there. With first down, you just got the ball back, go up top, try to score right away. Get the big play going.
Great call, but a great response by the defense of Massabesic. Both receivers downfield were well covered, and I mean well covered. Great throw by Foley, very close to a completion there, but still, Massabesic not fooled and superior coverage downfield. 2nd down and 10. Foley keeps, pitches out. Cormier's got a corner. Comes up, flag comes in late. Didn't see anything downfield, but obviously it's going to be on Thornton Academy, a hold. And that'll negate another good run by the Trojans.
I didn't see the hold either, but number 41, Matt Robinson, appears to be the one that was implicated on that play.
From the infraction, see where they'll mark it off to. Comes out to the 40. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Thornton does this a lot. When they get the break, they head the wrong way, or they get down to a certain point and they start going backwards. That possession where they had it all the way down inside Massabesic's 30, down at the 23, and then started going backwards and then fumbled the ball on 3rd down after looking at a 3rd and about 18. 2nd and 15 now for Foley and Thornton. The quick out to Janelle, makes the catch. Got room on the corner. Oh, a flag comes in. It's going to come back. They're going to call Robinson for holding. That was a nice play. Once again, the ball taking a little time getting out there. They're split so far out. Another nice call and a pretty good executed play, but
Janelle, did he trip or did somebody dive and get us? Because he looked like he had a little room down there.
So the penalties now really starting to mount on Thornton Academy. As we said coming into this game, Thornton had to play an error-free game and no big penalties and no big turnovers. Well, they've done the turnovers, they've done the big penalties, but somehow they still lead by 8 on the board. And that just shows you the dominance of what Thornton has done here this afternoon. They've overcome all that and they still lead by 8.
They've just a real growing team. To squeak by Noble, get beat by Sanford, and now be going toe-to-toe with Massabesic is incredible.
This time, the fullback into the secondary. Davis holds on, a couple more. He'll be very close to a Thornton 1st down.
I believe he's got it. Oh, the ref pulled it back a little, but he still has it.
A 25-yard run. Wow. 1st and 10, the ball down to the 26 of Massabesic, and a great call by Thornton Academy on that one. And again, good blocking up front. Once again, the center, Huppy, along with Duras and Skarks, able to create that seam in the middle. And then Davis, good speed, held on to the ball and broke one extra tackle to get the 1st down. Foley this time held on to it, and Bridges in the Massabesic defense stayed with Foley. And a loss on the play, a big loss of 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 15. It's the only thing about the option, you know, it gives you so much, but it also will give you the negativity too. And Thornton has been plagued by the losses of 3, 4, and 5 throughout this 2000 campaign, and that's a big one right there.
But they're patient with it, and as we saw from the last time prior to that, Foley can strike.
Foley looking to throw. Has some time. Now he's going to run it. Foley gets back to the original line of scrimmage at about the 26. It'll be 3rd down and 10. I'm not sure if that was a design play for him to drop back and run, because it looked like he decided to run well before there was any real pressure coming at him.
What I think would work is that they're going to spread these guys out with their formation, is to sneak the tight end up the middle and get some room that way with the aerial attack.
Well, Jeremy Lowell had a touchdown catch last week, and another one. He had another one called back. They did use the tight end in their passing arsenal versus Marshwood. Davis off the right side. Pat Davis down inside the 15. They'll have a Thornton Academy first down. It's almost amazing how Thornton is getting the fullback through on these 3rd and long plays. The Mustang defense a little bit bewildered right now.
I certainly didn't expect this kind of play out of the Trojan line of scrimmage. They're controlling the line of scrimmage.
They really are. The guys up front are creating holes, and then the fullbacks, whether it's been Justin Roy, who's out with an injury right now, only played the first quarter, and then McKinney had a couple of good runs, and now Pat Davis has been doing the bulk of the work, and doesn't matter who you're giving the ball to. They're popping through there and running with authority into the secondary. And the Trojans knocking at the door. Davis again into the second, breaks a tackle. Pat Davis to the goal line, touchdown. Oh, baby. 2:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and Thornton Academy once again has a 2-touchdown lead on the unbeaten Mustangs of Massabesic.
And the Trojans have controlled the 3rd quarter like they did the 1st quarter, and that is just still no rest for the weary, because we still have a lot of football to go.
You got the 14-point lead. Do you fake one here and try to get 16-point lead? Or do you just keep the sure foot of St. Hours through the post? And there it is, up and good. They
take the automatic.
And Thornton Academy with 2:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. York Hospital scoreboard. Golden Trojans 27, Mustangs 12. And the emotion and the energy, Thornton Academy has brought it here on Homecoming 2000, and that's what you want out of your team, and that's why you put a team like Massabesic in the middle of your schedule. You pick them for homecoming. You know they're going to be a great team, and right now Thornton Academy has everything working once again. And you know, again, going to the locker room only up 1 when it looked like they could have had such a bigger lead, and they've been able to rebound and steal the momentum back, and 2 consecutive scores again. And the offense keep taking the penalties and the losses and overcoming the obstacles.
Still a big question on whether they can contain this Mustang offense. Still a full quarter to go and 2:22 left in this quarter.
The long ball ability of the Mustang. Another good kick by Robinson, fielded at the 8 on the far side by Woodward. Woodward comes up, breaks the seam. Uh-oh! Robinson's back there. They'll take him out at about the 44-yard line, but a fine return. He got the corner. He came inside, popped it outside. No containment on the outside. Robinson back playing safety after kicking the ball off, and brings them down at the 44-yard line. The Mustangs with great field position. They trail 27-12. Woodward's had a heck of a game. Him and Otash have really been the, along with Eggleton's been pretty tough too with a couple of receptions and good on the defensive side, but there's the first good fullback pop. Olszewski gets about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. The ball down inside the 40 of Thornton Academy. They'll spot it at the 38. Again, a lot of football still to be played, and we've seen the quick hitting ability of this potent Mustang offense. Eggleton and Sellers come to the near. Now Noble goes in motion. Otash going to keep, pitches on the corner, breaks 1 tackle. He'll dive forward, and he'll have close to a Mustang first down. Good effort right there by Rob Noble, as once he caught the pitch, he put his head and feet all headed in the same direction, forward. No juke, no jive, just straight ahead with a good burst of speed. Gives the Mustangs a first down at the Trojan 32.
Well, the Mustangs are starting to mix it up, and the first time that they've moved the chains with somebody other than Otash being involved.
Offense looking like they're showing a sign of urgency here as they trail by 15. Bennett trying to bounce outside. Pushed, he breaks 1 tackle, but not another one. He'll get about a yard on the play. He had to run a long way to get there.
Huppy with his great pursuit on the outside.
It was actually Olszewski once again on the carry. They use him in a couple of looks. They use him as straight ahead fullback, and then they also split him off and then run that kind of sweep where he's offset to the left side, and they'll sweep to the far side of the field. 2nd and 9, the ball at Thornton's 30-yard line. Tash will keep. Looks for the seam, he gets it. And he'll dive inside, be very close to another Mustang first down. And that time there, the outside man, I don't know if it was Pellerin or not, but he took the pitch, man, and Skarks wasn't there to close the seam up to get Otash in time. And Otash saw that, broke through the seam, and got 9 yards and a first down at Thornton's 21-yard line. The clock now under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. We may be seeing almost a mirror image of the first half, where the Trojans explode in the opening quarter of the half, and then it's Massabesic's turn to counter in the second. Otash will keep again. Uses his big body to power forward.
I just don't understand why they go for any other fake. Hit number 10 every play.
2nd down and 5 now, actually 4. They got to get to the 11-yard line for the first down. Again, a swirling wind today, so you can't really tell which team has the advantage at what time. It's 2 receivers go to the far side. The Trojans gambling, looking inside. Now Woodward in motion. Otash on the quarterback keeper. He'll be close to a first down, but that'll do it in the 3rd quarter. Well, you definitely don't want to go anywhere. Thornton Academy leading 27-12, and still a quarter to play, and the Mustangs unbeaten record on the line. York Hospital scoreboard, Thornton Academy 27, Massabesic 12. We're back with the 4th quarter right after this.
Mike's Clam Shack, a local's favorite for the best seafood. Mike and his great friendly staff would like to invite you to their spacious new location on Route 1 in Wells. Try their new expanded menu, filled with a variety of traditional home cooking. Come down and relax in their comfortable pub and indulge in an appetizer with some friends. Mike has built the tradition over the past 10 years, and it all comes down to this: good food, good spirit, and great company.
Welcome back to Time Warner Cable Maine's Game of the Week. Jay Harper along with Jeff Harper, Mark Cantor, our videographer and producer this afternoon, and 3 quarters of amazing football. The 3-1 Thornton Academy Golden Trojans leading the 4-0 Massabesic Mustangs 27-12, but the Mustangs are firing back and knocking at the door. 3rd down and 1, the ball at the 11-yard line, and Otash looking to throw, has time, fires out, man wide open, touchdown! Mustangs back. Lucas Labby, I believe, number 44 on the reception, wide open in the flat. The Mustangs, again, they scored on the first play of the 2nd quarter. They scored on the first play of the 4th quarter, and they're right back in this game. So Otash now with 2 touchdown tosses on the day. Follows up the 11-yard. Falls up the 60-yard with an 11-yard touchdown strike. They're going to go for 2 on the corner, wide open. Woodward, the catch, a flag is down on the play. And it's way in the backfield. It'll be motioned. And that's huge right now, because a 15-point lead, 2 puts you right back within 7. You could go for the tie with an extra point if you score again, or 2 for a win. If they go for 2 here and don't get anything, the Mustangs would put themselves in a very tough hole.
Well, they have certainly have confidence in the arm of Jason Otash, and boy, they're getting open out there. It's unbelievable. They're beating that Trojan secondary pretty bad right now.
27-18 the score. They get 2, they're within 7. If they don't get any, though, at 18, then they're still 2 possessions away. So a huge gamble, Coach Moore, and you have to think here he might have to just try to kick the one up and stay within 8.
They're lining up to kick. An unfortunate break for Massabesic to lose that one.
Big extra point here. The Mustangs lining, booming kick. Got it through. Boy, that was hooking. It looked like maybe it hooked left, but it just gets through the post. So with 11:53 to play in the contest, our York Hospital scoreboard. Thornton Academy 27, Massabesic 19.
All comes down to ball control now for the Trojans, and for Massabesic, they just got to strip and try to get that football back, stuff them, and look to get the ball again.
It has been a game of quarters. Thornton Academy owned the first quarter. Massabesic took control in the second quarter. Thornton came out and dominated the third quarter, and the Mustangs start the fourth quarter. They started to get back in the third with that nice drive and kickoff return, but scoring on the first play of the fourth quarter as they did in the second quarter, and now they're within 8. But again, 8 points. If you score, you got to go for 2 for the tie. And you don't get it, you still need another possession. So the Mustangs right now, and still a ways away, but they have a team that can score in a hurry. That only a 44-yard drive after the outstanding return by Matt Woodward. He had a 55-yard return. He's been a busy man, kicking off and kicking extra points, and field goal attempt today.
Excellent athlete.
Really is, and Trojans now will try to answer back. Ball blows over for the second time, and you see the wind shift now. It definitely is blowing right to left, so Woodward shouldn't have too much problem pounding this one into the end zone, and he kicks the ball so high. He does a nice job. He really gives his team coverage. He might be better off to continue to do what he's been doing, high, short ones, and allowing coverage downfield and pin Thornton in even deeper than the 20.
Yeah, you're looking to hit that down around the 5-yard line if you can, because the way he gets up under it, it's likely to bounce straight up.
This one a little more juice, and that'll send Janelle into the end zone. You cannot bring that out in high school football. Saw a 100-yard return to a Portland Chevrolet game earlier in the year, but the referee didn't see the foot go into the end zone, and it counted. 100-yard touchdown return on a kickoff, but Janelle not able to bring this one out, and Thornton will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They lead 27-19 over the highly favored and unbeaten Massabesic Mustangs. This a big series for both teams. The Trojans want to answer with some ball control and try to move the chains, use some clock. The Mustangs want a 3-and-out, field position and the ball back. Chance to score and time left to get it for another time to win this here in regulation. Hand off to the fullback, and Davis takes a pounding. Labby and Joe Crow in on the stop for the Mustangs. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Trojans have proved a lot to themselves and to the rest of the league, but now, after playing so well, they have to prove they can win this type of game, not just compete. Again, it's Davis, and again, the middle of the Massabesic defense responding. No gain, or a gain of 1 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Momentum's such a key part of sports, and no different here this afternoon. Massabesic, after that nice drive and score, come out defensively, and that play that was just...
Because of their ability to score so quick, they put the pressure on the Trojans, even though the Trojans have the lead and the ball.
Exactly. 3rd and 9. Cormier in motion. Handoff to the fullback again. Davis will get out to the 25, but well short of the first down, and Thornton will have to send out the punting unit. And you look at the flag, that wind is coming at Thornton Academy, and Lowell will have to punt into a pretty stiff breeze right now. It's just almost eerie how this game has played out, the two halves being so similar. How one team can dominate one whole quarter and the other can answer back in the next, and this quarter taking shape just like the second quarter did. Thornton not able to answer after they gave up the touchdown, and Lowell stands at his 12. Woodward and Olszewski back at their 43. Pretty good kick. Fielded at the 42. Fake, tackle, fumble. Oh, there was a fumble. Olszewski kept it. Harper laid him out. The ball came free, but it went right over to the fake man, and he was there for the recovery.
That's just how you want to play it. If they're going to run that reverse, just whack somebody. Don't try to worry about who. Just take one of them down.
That's it. Don't go through and get confused and not tackle anybody. Just take one down, and Harper that time made a good choice. Got the ball carrier and took Woodward down. The ball came out, Olszewski, the ball came free, but bounced over to Woodward on the other side. So Massabesic down by 8, 10 minutes left in the game. They take over at their own 37-yard line. Well, Tash goes on the option. Good move inside, good pitch outside. And he takes a play that looked like it was going to go for a loss or no gain and turns it into a 6-yard positive outcome. Good quick feet. Stepping, eluding the tackler, then the quick, nice pitch on the outside, and the Mustangs look at a 2nd and 5. Double slots. Corners back off now for Thornton Academy. Otash goes to the fullback. Fullback finds some room in the middle. Takes a couple extra hits in there.
Mustang starting to move ground inside, and Otash has been able to give the ball up the last few series.
Jeremy Lowell and Morrill Harper combined on the stop. They both put in some big hits at the end there, and we're looking for a fumble, but the ball held on nice and tightly in the middle. It's 3rd down and less than a yard now for the Mustangs. The ball at their own 46.
Scary situation. Bart Starr would go deep in this situation, and I don't expect these guys to do anything but just get the first down.
Powerhouse backfield, 3 straight across, double tight ends for the Mustangs. Long count, late handoff.
Didn't get it.
I don't think so. So now the Mustangs look at a 4th and short. You know they're probably going to go for it here. They almost have to, down 8 points. But still a lot of football to be played, but this is going to be a huge play. Big stop by the left side of the defense with Thornton Academy. Good fire off the ball, and 4th down, and they actually lost a little bit, so it's a full yard now, 4th and 1. 8:05, the Mustangs come out of the huddle quickly. This could be the play of the game. Still with 8 minutes, you doubt it, but it's definitely going to be a huge one. Otash keeps it. See you later. Otash to the 30. The 20, he's gone. The Trojans all bid inside. There was no one on that left corner. And Otash on 4th and 1 goes 55 yards, and once again, you see the long play capability of that Massabesic offense. That's what happens when you get too many people juiced up front trying to stop the thing. You got to think containment a little bit too, and nobody there.
Definitely have to think containment too. You got to keep your people outside. To bite inside like that just for that fake, he had no competition around that left side.
And I mean, I knew he was gone as soon as he came off the left end. I mean, there was nobody there to even have an angle or even a shot at him. And Otash had a very easy run there. 55 yards away, and Thornton turns a beautiful 3rd down stuff into disaster as the Mustangs now trailing by 2. They take a timeout to discuss this upcoming 2-point attempt.
What a huge play this is now.
Well, again, we said that could be the play of the game, and it might have been. The Mustangs, if they don't get the 2-point conversion and trail by 2, they're still within a field goal range. And again, a field goal not out of the realm here for either team. Certainly both teams have a kicker capable of hitting one from long out. There's a good strong breeze. You get the breeze headed in the right direction for you when you're kicking. Can really aid that ball. Thornton Academy, again, these 2 quarters and 2 halves have been identical. And Thornton was able to squeak out the halftime with the 1-point advantage after a missed attempt. Let's see if they can do the same here. And still a lot of time left in this game, 7:47.
And somebody's going to be heartbroken. No matter what happens in this next 7 minutes, somebody goes away heartbroken.
Well, you know, Thornton Academy, again, playing a team that's heavily favored and the likes of them. You play this well and you lose. Sometimes, you know, you say, oh, yeah, we can play with them. It does great for your opponent, but not if you lose in this fashion where you had two touchdown leads and were unable to sustain them. 2-point conversion try. The Mustangs come out with their...
Oh, look out.
Oh, now they're shifting them back in. Tash brings them in, powerhouse backfield. Do they go to the option again? Looked like movement. Tash does go option. He does get 2.
I don't understand this. Why do we have nobody out there?
No one on the outside, and Tash ties it up. 7:47 left. It's 27-27. Thornton Academy Massabesic homecoming 2000 is going down to the wire. And the Trojans, you can see the body language of a lot of these kids, and head coach Kevin Kiesel has to get out there and get up in their face and try to pump them back up. Very tough to do. The home crowd tries to help for Thornton Academy. The Mustangs have answered. You know their crowd on the other side. You see them going crazy, jumping up and down and firing their troops up. And the momentum all on the Mustang side right now, and Thornton has to dig deep inside and suck it up. That play was weird. Again, it looked like movement, but I think what happened is the ball was snapped. The left side of the line didn't really move for Massabesic. The right side fired off the ball, and they went to the right. And again, Thornton with nobody on the outside.
They seem to be responding to that tight set with the full house backfield, with shifting their defense with nobody outside.
Almost a no-brainer for Massabesic after they scored on that type of play to go back to it. They just went to the other side, and Tash had a cakewalk into the end zone. It's 27-27. Wow. Talked about the South Portland Deering game Thursday night. We got a similar situation. Talking again this week, thinking, you know, if you could somehow hold Massabesic to 15 or less, you have a shot. But who knew Thornton's offense would be able to put up 27 points on the board? But the unfortunate thing is your defense has given up now the 27. We're at ground zero again. And Woodward again, the high booming end over end kick. Janelle may have a shot at this one. Fields it at the goal line. Looking for a seam, comes up through, gets hit. Flags flying everywhere. Oh my. Janelle breaking it, but oh my God. He said he stepped out of bounds at the 41, and there's flags all over the place. So once again, Thornton's going to be hit by the old penalty bug. The officials are having a field day on the Thornton Academy side of the ball when they're returning.
Somebody let the zebras out of the zoo. Look at this.
Holding, and the Trojans will be pinned in deep. So Janelle with a nice return, giving Thornton some pretty good field position, negated. And now the Trojans will have to start deep inside their own territory after squandering a 15-point lead in the matter of about 8 minutes.
Well, that's 35 yards in penalties. I'll check that. 30 yards in penalties in this half. They had 35 in the first half. And now their offense is on the field and they're short a man. They're waving for a player.
First down and 10, the ball at Thornton's 18 where they'll start. Foley keeps, gets into the secondary. Good gain on first down. He gets held up and pushed back. Tash and Noble in on the stop for the Mustangs. It'll be second down and a long 3 now for the Trojan offense. Foley looked like he's going to be stopped in the backfield. And the Massabesic defender, I don't think, realized he had the ball still. Trojans definitely got to move the chains and get out from deep inside their own territory. Oh, great play on the outside. Diving out to knock that ball down. Mike Bennett. So now a big 3rd down and 3.
Excellent play. That's defense that you need in that kind of situation.
Trojans now backs to the wall. The Mustangs with all the momentum. 3rd down and a long 3. 2 receivers out to the far side, only 1 defender. Will the Trojans go there? They don't. Fullback gets the call, fighting for yardage. The ball comes out. That should have been blown dead. No, they're saying it's live ball, fumble. The Mustangs got it. And this game now, boy, whoo.
Become a circus down there. When the ball carriers stood up, the whistle's supposed to blow, and they're standing around choking on their whistles.
1st down and 10 now for the Mustangs. 6:43 to play. That's the first time they've been even with the Trojans. Now a chance to take the lead. Trojans defense has been on the field for most of this 4th quarter, and they have to respond. Long count. Otash will keep. Bounces outside. Harper takes him, pulls him out of bounds. He'll have a gain of about 3 on the play. Actually spotted well short of that. No gain on the play, or about a half a yard. Be 2nd and 9. So Thornton Academy now with their backs to the wall. The momentum has all shifted in the Mustangs, showing their poise and maturity. Looking to take the lead here. Tash has been the difference for the Mustangs offense. He'll keep it again. Cuts up inside. Trying to go outside. He'll have a good gain.
Just a tough back, and they just can't seem to figure out how to close that corner down off that option.
3rd down and 4 now. The ball at the 17. Trojans got 2 plays here to try to shut down Massabesic. Try to take back over on downs. Massabesic 2 plays to get 4 yards. Come out in their power offense. Otash keeps. He's got the room. Cuts inside. He'll have the 1st down to the 10. And this is where you might use a defensive timeout here. Try to calm the troops down and talk it over. Plenty of time still left in the game if you give up the touchdown, but momentum is such a factor here, and you've been playing out in front the whole game. You don't know what it'll do so far. You see the way that Thornton has responded not very well to this Massabesic charge. The Mustangs with it, 1st and goal, the ball just inside the 10. Olszewski, nothing in the middle. Huppy playing on the defensive side of the ball, getting a lot of playing time today, and he's done very well in the middle. 2nd and goal now. Massabesic will be very patient with the ball now and use the clock with them knocking at the door. Got to watch the pass play too. They've been dangerous there. Eggleton goes to the far side. Sellers comes to the near. Reverse, got some room. Nice cut up inside to the end zone. Touchdown. What a great move. The Trojans, Pat Davis came in and looked like he was going to have them. Woodward made a beautiful cut up inside and then found his way through the secondary and fought his way into the end zone and gives Massabesic the 33-27 lead.
The X's and O's. The Trojans were there. They had the play stopped, but the fine running of Woodward made the difference. And Massabesic not only has a host of talented backs that they seem to go to between Woodward, Otash, but they can also do a lot more on the field by regards of plays, selection.
So now a big extra point. Kick is up. Been good. York Hospital scoreboard. Massabesic Mustangs have come roaring back. They lead 34-27 over the Golden Trojans. Thornton, though, with still plenty of time, 4:52 to play in the contest. They are now down 7.
Really a wide variety is what I was trying to get at this Massabesic offense. They can go to that little reverse inside. They can run 6 or 7 different looks on their pass plays. And then they can go to their bread and butter option play with Otash. Definitely have a bit more of a playbook, it appears.
Well, Thornton, again, they've done well to overcome the loss of Justin Roy, their captain and fullback. And I mean, he is their horse, and they've had a lot of holes in the middle for their fullback. But as Massabesic starts to shut them down, it's starting to show the fact that they don't have number 36 in the backfield. Davis has done well in
61 points, all over here at the western end zone.
Not good for Thornton Academy's chance to come back when you look at that. All touchdowns have come on that side of the field. And again, that's the predominant side that has had the wind at the back for most of the afternoon. We have pointed out that the wind is swirling, but again, it's swirling more so in that direction, and it's apparently paid off for the teams headed from right to left across your television set. Woodward a kick again. Another booming kick. This time, Janelle comes up, fields it at his 5. Looking for a hole. Oh, and he slipped up at the 15. So Thornton again will start deep inside their own territory. They trail by 7. Plenty of time, 4:47 left in the contest. So here's where you see what your team's made of. You played yourself one heck of a homecoming game up until this point. You've given up the big touchdowns, and suddenly you find yourself from 15 points up to 7 points down. And let's see how this Thornton Academy unit responds. The Mustangs have responded very well to their deficit, and they've answered. Handoff, McKinney breaks into the secondary. Fumble again! Oh my goodness. And that's the difference, too, between a Justin Roy and the backup fullbacks who have gone in from both Davis and McKinney have had a hard time holding on to the ball. Davis with a couple of fumbles. McKinney with...
Trojans fortunate to fall on that one.
Oh. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Foley brings them out. Robinson to the near side, Janelle to the far. Again, it's McKinney. Again into the secondary. Tucks onto the ball, gains 7. Have a first down out to the 30-yard line.
Mustangs tackling the football.
Clock moving now, 3:55. Does Thornton have another big play in their playbook? Foley scored on an 80-yard run in the 3rd quarter. Looks to throw, fires out, man open. Good catch out there. The big hit. Skaczynski held on, gains 11, and they'll move the chains again.
It's like he got the wind knocked out of him, I believe. He took a good shot, he held on to the football. That's the kind of 4th quarter play you need.
Olszewski came in and got him in the rib pretty hard. And he's down again. It may just be the wind, or it could be a rib. 3:41 to play in the 4th quarter. York Hospital scoreboard. Massabesic 34, Thornton Academy 27. You're watching the main cable network's Game of the Week.
TJ's Pizza, homemade goodness in every bite. You love our pizza and french fries too, made fresh while you wait, and there's more for you. Bring your family, bring your friends to TJ's Pizza, where the fun never ends.
Robinson and Metcalf come to the near side. Trojans have it first down and 10. Janelle in slot right formation. Interesting set here in personnel for the Trojans. They fire out to Metcalf. Metcalf setting up, looking downfield for Janelle. The bomb's out there. Janelle catches it. Down inside the 10 to the 2. Oh, what a play.
What the heck is going on here today?
Metcalf, a backup quarterback, moving to the slot back this year. He's got a cannon into the wind, threw it up a little short. Janelle responded to the ball, made the great catch, and he's down to the goal line. It'll be first and goal from the 2. The Trojans now maybe not wanting to score too quickly here because they'll give Massabesic too much time to answer back themselves. Wow, what a play.
But then they're put in that predicament of having to kick the extra point for a tie, or whether to... They don't have enough personnel on the field. Something's wrong here. They better take a timeout.
58-yard play. The lateral pass to TJ Metcalf. Metcalf had the big week last week, a touchdown reception and a 73-yard touchdown run. Stepped up, waiting for Janelle, and again, the coverage was there. They weren't fooled by that play, but it was just the speed of Janelle. Ran by the defender, and then the good job of responding back to the football by the sophomore, Max
Janelle. Run. He can run. Boy, he can fly, and he beat that defense. And that throw, we had the, the little flare out here. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it, Jay.
Thornton has to use the timeout because of the personnel situation, but chance to settle down now, and again, first and goal from the 2.
That could cost them.
4 cracks at it. Yeah, timeouts could be vital down the stretch here, but this game, my goodness, no matter what happens, in PA announcer Paul Monder joking in the latter parts of the 3rd quarter, this game's so good that he's going to charge people on the way out, and really living up to that right down to the wire, and the Trojans able to respond back, and just a great play, well executed, and kids stepping up, making outstanding plays, and now Thornton Academy with a chance to answer back the Mustangs charge.
I assume they'd have to go for the tie if they score the touchdown, kick the extra point, and not get too daring.
With that much time left, I would have to agree. If it was less than, if you knew nobody was going to touch the ball again, I'd say go for 2. I've always believed that teams should do that more often. Biddeford always did it, and it always paid off for them. But in this situation, if they do score, you'd look probably McKinney off the left side. He's very close to the goal line. And again, they're saying a ball came out. Come on. He was spinning the other way, stopped. No. Fumble at the goal line. The Mustangs got it.
It looked like he was in, but then the leg drive of the defense just stopped him cold. He spun backwards. There's where the forward progress should begin, right there. Whistle.
Exactly. And again, these non-whistles are coming. You're supposed to, once you're starting to be driven backwards, you get a second at it, and then the whistle was supposed to blow. 2 times now, Thornton Academy has been victimized by that, and McKinney, the inability to hold on to the ball. Both fullbacks for Thornton, Davis and McKinney, replacing Justin Roy, have had the difficulty holding on to the pigskin. Otash on the option, breaks outside, and he'll get big breathing room. Skarks brings him down out there, but Otash picks up 8 yards on the play. And now the clock, a huge factor. And again, Thornton had to use the timeout, and that timeout could have been just enough to stop the momentum. Massabesic a chance to respond, and you see what comes out of the timeout. Thornton goes for it, looked like almost in McKinney, not quite. And then the ball comes free, and this game could be over for Thornton Academy. And that's just a shame, because you're building a barn burner, and the great play back, and to end on that kind of note, it's just a shame for the Trojans on this time. Again, being able to respond like that, and a fumble on that side. Breaking off the left side, a good move there. Olszewski breaks 1 tackle, still going, taken out of bounds at the 35. That'll stop the clock with 2:06 to play.
Very poor defense on that play on the outside for Thornton Academy. In that situation, couldn't come at a worse time for them, and Massabesic appears to have iced it with that big first down.
Ball all the way out to the 33, almost the 34-yard line. The Mustangs with it, 1st and 10. Otash will keep it again. Cuts inside, rolls forward. I think Otash excels when he knows he's just going to keep the ball, and right now he's not going to give it to anybody on that play. He's already made up his mind. He's pulling it out, and he's just going to fight forward for whatever he can get. 9 yards there, and Thornton's got to start using timeouts. What a tough break.
Otash is the only thing that I haven't been surprised about this afternoon.
That's a good statement. 2nd and 1 for the Mustangs. They lead 34-27 with a $1:27. Otash up, milking the clock. He'll keep it. Break a tackle, they'll get a 1st down. Thornton's got to use timeouts if they want to try to get a few more cracks at it.
Massabesic has 4 downs. This game is in the bank.
Trojans still got 2 timeouts left. Mustangs now will probably look to just take a knee here and hold the pigskin. Well, they're going to give another handoff. Trojans trying to tackle the football. Now Thornton uses a timeout. 48 seconds left. The Mustangs look like they're going to stay perfect on the year and move to 5-0. The Trojans a very disappointing and difficult loss to swallow here. They'll fall to 3-2. They travel to South Portland next Friday night. We're broadcasting that game on the Big Jab, 1440 from South Portland. And that'll be a huge game for the Trojans, and see how they respond after such a tough loss here. They played outstanding, and again, and even tougher because you fall down, but then you respond. You have it 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, a chance to tie it up, and a potential overtime. And instead, a fumble at the goal line, and all now would-have, could-have.
Not really fumbles, takeaways.
Let's talk about the piping plover. It's a small bird with a big problem. It lives only on the beach, and its survival is in doubt. You can help the piping plover. Share the beach with it, keep the beach clean, leave pets at home or leashed, and obey wildlife protection signs. The original surfing bird will sure appreciate it. A public service message by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and this station.
Looking for places to go or attractions to see in your area? Well, watch Your Guide to the Seacoast on the main cable network, 8 times daily. Here are the program air times. Let us take you on an adventure along the southern Maine coast. Explore some local restaurants and eateries with us on your journey throughout southern Maine.